welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the most important tools for the backend developers, Postman. If you have been following along with this series, you must know that we have built a REST API using Django REST framework. We set it up, we added authentication. Now, the next step is to how do we actually test whether everything we have built is working the way it should. That's exactly where the Postman comes in. But before I show you how to use it on a screen, let me first tell you that what Postman is in simple terms. Let's understand it with a simple example I have already given earlier. Let's suppose that Postman is a waiter here and API that we have built is a kitchen, like the restaurant. And Postman is working as a waiter. You went to the restaurant and you ordered the dish to the Postman, and Postman took that order and went to the API and tell your request that what you want. And then API gives the response, that dish back to the Postman, and Postman went back to you and give you that specific response. So basically, Postman is working as a bridge between you and the API here. Now the question is that why it is important. Because without Postman, you have to build the entire front end to check whether your backend is working or not. That is too much time, right? So Postman saved our efforts and let us to test our API directly without having the front end. So in this video, I'll show you exactly that how to test our Django REST API using Postman, and we'll go step by step, and by the end of this video, you will get to know that how to get, put, patch, post and delete requests, how to handle authentication, and how to check both successful and error responses. So without further delay, let's get started.
Okay, so this is the API we have created, and this is the admin panel, and this is the Postman. This is the interface you will see. On the left sidebar, you will see the collection. So we'll make all the collection of requests to keep everything organized. So let's add the new request, and let me call it the get request because it's like our first get request. So let me name it get. And now we'll go back to our API and copy our base URL and go back and paste here, and this get is already selected. Oops, authentication credentials are not provided. You must remember we added some authentication. So go back to authentication, base or basic auth, and add your credentials, and go back and do send the data. And you got everything you have in your database. 200, okay, request successful. Okay, now let's just create the new data. So let's add the new request, name it as create request, and the same URL we need, but just go to the post. And what to do, go to the body, and it always takes the JSON file. So I have already like data written in JSON format, so I'm just copy pasting it here. And what to do, let's try to send data, but we'll need the credentials. Yes, so go back to the same basic auth, add credentials, and what happened, a valid number is required. Okay, we cannot add alphabets here, so we need to truncate it, and now we send the data and our 201 created. Let me show you next that how to update an existing item. For that, we will create the new request, and let me call it update request, and then we'll change the old URL with the ID. We will add the same URLs. Oops, let me paste the URL, and we also add the ID. And let me just put add the put request and go to the authorization. We need to add credentials, and in the body I added the ID 1. I want to update the update the data of ID 1, but it is appearing in the plain text. How to fix it? Go to raw, add JSON, because it will only take JSON file, and now send the data. I'm just adding 6 so that it will be updated, and it is giving the error of valid number. Okay, let's modify it, let's set the data, and now it is updated successfully, 200. Okay, next I will show you that how to partially update the data. For that, you need to add the patch request. So oops, let me go here, add the new request, and let me call it a patch request. By adding this request, we can update the partial data, and let me add the ID 2, and I'm adding the patch and authorization as same, and go to the raw. And for example, I want to change the update the title of the ID number 2 data. So I am updating the title name here. Let me just randomly write it at Jumeirah Beach and send the request, and it is updated successfully. Next, we will see how to delete the request. So I'm adding the new request and this deleted request. Let me just paste the URL of ID1. I want to delete this data and authorization, and I'll send the request and it is deleted successfully. I cannot see any content here. To make it confirm, we go to the get request and we'll see the entire data so that we can see that the ID number 1 has been gone successfully. Now let's quickly talk about error handling and HTTP status scores. These numbers are crucial because they tell us whether the request was successful or not. So here are some common ones you will encounter. 200, which means okay, data retrieved or updated. 201, which means data has been successfully created. 204, no content, the request was successful but there was no data to return, common use for delete request. 400, bad request, something is wrong with your request, missing required data. 404, not found, the requested resources doesn't exist, like wrong URL or maybe ID. 500, which is internal server error, which means something went wrong on the server side.
So that was Postman in action. As you can see, it was very powerful but beginner friendly tool, and it led us to make sure that our API is working, it catches all the mistakes early, and it also saves our time to make the front end, just to text our backend. So to put it simply, if you're really serious about backend development, Postman is the must-know tool. In the next video, we will be continuing at this project, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment if you want me to cover the advanced feature or the automated feature of Postman in the next video. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one.